If Fnatic do make any mistakes, Dignitas are a team that absolutely punish them.
Oh, God, yeah. Clinical in that sort of aspect.
This, Fnatic play really... Every Fnatic game is really exciting for the exact reasons that Dignitas are so good. Fnatic make exciting games because they will let teams in. Dignitas don't let anybody in. Over to you.
Oh, it'll be interesting to see how the T-side do. Obviously, being Dignitas here, they'll have to bring some of the pace at least. And it looks like a 3-2 split to begin with. Nothing too crazy there. But JW and Olaf looking like they want to go for an early challenge. And as you said, Fnatic, the aggressive side, happy to get a little bit of a taste of the action. And it will be Device there with Dupree. Nade comes out and back go the CT side. Olaf did receive a good chunk of damage, but he does have the armor. It's not the end of the world. And the thing that I think it was Sean Garris was saying there, that they've got a little bit of a shaky way of playing through mid, but they've chosen short to work up towards, and Pronax met them on every step so far. So 3v5, not great for Dignitas here, and the confidence from Fnatic picking this up would be brilliant. Finally to break that little bit of a slump in the pistol rounds, and let's see if Dig can find that fun bit of execution. Flash will come in, Olaf is waiting, he's going to find Device, takes him down, but AZ continues to bully through towards A. Now JW on the side, Zipnix pushing up towards the ramp, not going to find too much. It's a little bit shaky in the mornings, clearly, and maybe looking for a bit of a Kelly moment for himself. But JW will find Zipnix, he will find AZ, and Fnatic get the first pistol round.
Just what you want to start the morning. You've had your Weetabix and you're ready to go. Fnatic pick themselves up the pistol round, and they'll be looking to add as much to the scoreboard as they can. Watch Dignitas on this game yesterday against Epsilon. This was what was Epsilon's map choice, and whilst Dignitas did win, it was interesting to see how they offered up. They were just so dominant throughout this map, so hard to pull things through from there. But for Dignitas, they were very much kind of a read and react attack in that game, much in the same way that they defend maps as well. So let's see, as it'll be frags traded. There is JW with his P90 dispatches of Device, but AZ returns the favor, and Fnatic will be angry to have lost a man relatively cheaply. But there are still a lot of Danes down at long A for Pronax to rattle off a few shots towards. Fetish will sit waiting for anyone daring to kind of come up behind and close those Dignitas players down along. And now they've pulled themselves out of there. Flusher, who'll see action coming across up towards Catwalk. He wonders whether there's any more, and he doesn't spot Fetish. Dupree will come through, and what a nade from Pronax, like a basketball shot as it swooshes in. A follow-up there from Flusher as well. And Fnatic have themselves the round with only one man lost.
Sudden bit of discipline just kicking in there. As soon as JW went down, it seemed as though, I think it was Pronax and Charlotte just fell right back towards the A side. Like, okay, those CZs, we don't want to mess with them. Let's just take this very carefully, very cautiously. Want to build off that initial pistol, and they got it. Brilliantly done. Not perfectly clean, but still, they worked with what they got there. So 2-0 to Fnatic, leading so far into this one. Dig not really making the impact, but it looks like they might be going for a little bit of an all-in, and let's see if it's going to pan out, because Crims will be waiting. The flash, the nade comes in, Flusher gets 3, and it's a little bit of a quick round, to say the least. I don't think AZ can do much here, and there we go. Flusher cleans up with a 4-piece coming in to the third round. Yeah, they were eco'd, but he dealt with it well, and it cost them very little.
Perfect conversion there from Fnatic, having won the pistol, but now it's the first buy round, and Fetish will wield the big bad gun, and we'll see whether that can open some holes in that Swedish defense as he sits waiting for the hit. And look at Crims' health, what a shot there, and we'll see whether Fnatic have anyone else to dare to make that jump. So nothing doing for Dignitas there, and if you look on the overlay map, you can see they're completely uncommitted. You've got AZ waiting to see if anyone pushes aggressive in tunnels. You've got Dupree and now Device in mid, and then Fetish roaming with that AWP, waiting to see whether they can get the entry in. They'll happily do that. And wait to see whether they can close out any area. JW with the smoke down on the double doors will just fire off a few shots, and that'll delay anyone pushing in there as well, because no one's going to want to be going in blind towards where JW will be setting himself up for, and it'll completely allow him to escape that area. And Fetish almost about to duel with Flusher, but Flusher is held back, and Fnatic haven't been able to push out, except for that one man on long A getting a few shots down there. They don't know anything about this Dignitas side at the moment. It's JW who is down there. But now Pronex will see action. There's nothing to block this push coming in. Just one name being tossed over on towards Fetish, but suddenly Pronex has got Angry Danes charging him down on the A side. Zipnix gets the first JW down on long. Olofmeister comes in with 2. Make that 3. Great play from Olofmeister before Dupree eventually ends him. Flusher avenges the loss of his beloved Olof, and now it is a 2-on-1 as Zipnix has to go over, collect the bomb, but look in the top of your screen is we are down to a mere 5 seconds. Flusher knew that and will wait to capitalize. Bomb did get planted though from Zipnix. Fnatic with a minor chink in their armor, they'll be happy to take the round, but a hole there allowing that bomb to get planted in the first place. But it goes to 4-0 Fnatic. Good start to the day.
Brilliant start to the day. And I always get a little worried seeing Zipnix running around with that AK. The man can just undo situations so well, but dealt with perfectly by Fnatic in the end, then locking it down. But as you said, bomb plant did go through.
And that's what allowed the weapons.
Big play coming out there from not too far from your screen. So let's see what Fnatic can do this time. Dignitas still a threat here. They're still building up, maybe testing the waters. As you said, they're not committing too drastically, but we've already seen a big opening come through. Nate did find AZ, but 2 replied back. So Dig do have the player advantage. Device is low, but it looks like Dig are looking for that A execution. They've worked it out. They're building into this. Dupree's got down Crims, and now just JW and Flusher here. The smokes, the execution was on point, but JW watching that cross. Zipnix, smart move there. Just gonna drop the bomb across and get that one down and ticking. We know the impact of just getting that plant got them back into this round, and be able to do the same. And I think Fnatic know that this is not a round they're going to get back in towards. And you got to say, Dignitas for the first couple of rounds seems as though they're just trying to find out information, constantly getting it through. And in this round, it just kind of worked. The smokes are on point, the flashes are on point, even with the opening kill going to Fnatic.
One decision, one mistake can cost so much in this game. And we'll go back to that last round. That bomb plant cost Fnatic this 5th round. And that's something they're going to have to live with. They're going to try and get away with 2 players up. And Flusher wants to make this as expensive as he can and helps himself to the frag of Dupree. And will drop them down, because forcing the rebuys when you got players who would... Actually, they got the 2 guys who had Galils, I think. But nevertheless, 4-1 to Fnatic. Great start to the day for them, as we mentioned, and they'll have to, for the first time, the rebuy. But look at the deaths. Fnatic, Flusher, not died yet in 5 rounds. Excellent play from him. He's able to buy for his teammates, and he's the one that had to pay the count. As we see JW just rattling a few shots. Dupree will now move out and towards long A, and Chef frag down the chasing Olofmeister. Olofmeister not protected by Pronex, and Dupree gets both of them. Awesome play from him. And now it's JW that's going to have to come around. First shot hits, device down. He retreats back down and towards CT spawn, looks for AZ, and AZ is barely alive, but in fact he's a little more than barely. He has 49 health, and the 2 Fnatic players will sit in CT spawn. Together they are stronger here, and they may find this a very hard retake, and they're going to decide it didn't happen. But the difference between the 2 sides was that A-long push there. You saw Pronex completely unhelping Olofmeister. Unhelping's not a word, I've just made it up.
We're going to make it one, it's fine.
Down to long A. Whereas in a Dignitas side, the 2 guns are always there to help one another, and that was very individual play that eventually cost them both their lives down to long A.
And I not worry, but you've got to wonder, will this start affecting the confidence of Olof? Will it start affecting the confidence of Pronex here if they're winning out and losing out mostly in those little 1v1s? Olof can be such a big player, kill-wise, into the kind of JW region sometimes. For Dignitas, if he starts getting shut down constantly on long here and he keeps getting worked through, then we might see a repeat here, because I was talking to Anders about how the Dignitas guys like to play this, and they do have a little bit of a tough time ahead of them, but they have a little bit of a cursing towards the semi-finals. But at the moment, they're kind of getting over that, and they're building, and they're getting back into it. And every single time, they just seem to know how to play Fnatic down to the absolute note. Fetish will go for the challenge, and he just claims JW, and the confidence alone to go for these shots is just going to be building up for Dignitas. And now, Fnatic a little on the back foot. However, Pronax's nade could have done actually probably more damage than it did, but Zipnix took the brunt of it. Fetish looking for the follow-up towards mid, but really to be found. But Flusher is there and waiting, evens it back to a 4v4, but the flash is coming in perfectly. Zipnix is going to land that every day of the week. And now the splashes, the smokes come in, cut off the CT side. A rotates are going to be struggling here, but the flash off the back. Pronax comes in, gets one down. Oh, quickly dealt with by Device. And now B is now guarded by one man alone. Crims in pretty much a 1v2 here. Bomb is down. I think he just got a glimpse, but Fetish goes as well. Crims, big play there, dealing with what was coming through those B talents. Now Device left in that 1v2 situation. The rotate not working out for Dig. Maybe Device can save something. A lot of time still on the board. He's got time to work with. Smoke goes down. He was already quite low, however. 47 HP. Crims and Olof sitting perfect. Nice. Interesting positioning. Feeling a little confident. Backs away. Good choice there as the fire starts to burn. You've got to be a little cautious. Fnatic not taking this lightly either. Matter of time though, and here we go. Execution comes in from CT's one through the hole in the wall. Oh, not going to happen. Crims locks it down, and they dealt with that so well. But Crims on B, just a complete stopping force then.
Really interesting round. I mean, first of all, Fetish starts it off with JW. You lose your AWP, you lose the person who brings all the information to it for Fnatic, and then they have to suddenly think, well, we've lost someone A long. They might try and push in towards A now because they know that we're weak. No, they went through double doors, and they won the first frag. Excellent counter flash, then took out the man who was there, and then in on B, awesome 1v1 play, got the frags. And they left it very late. That Molotov that wasn't meant to land where it did stopped them from coming in two different angles in towards the site, and almost cost them the round. But Fnatic get themselves a 3-round advantage and back to winning ways for them. There was enough money in the bank for Team Dignitas to buy. And actually, just at the end of that round, last move was to pick up the AWP that was on the floor in B from Fetish. And look what that's left Fnatic with. Olofmeister and JW both able to offer this one out. And that is part just to mix up the strategies, and part the threat that Fetish brings in the form he is in this tournament right now. So what do you do? Awesome play from Flusher, dropping Dupree. The moment that smoke went down, Flusher knew there was something to shoot at, and shoot at it he did, albeit somewhat blind. Olofmeister tries to take out Fetish, but Fetish again wins that battle. And expect to see JW to have to move to counter what's coming up from long A now as Flusher pushes out. Fetish is there again, and the big man strikes twice. AZ gets the next one, and Fnatic are down to just 2 men alive. Will contest, or will perhaps be on the hunt for Fetish. And let's see whether they can do that. Oh! There was a good opportunity there for Crims to basically come in and assassinate Fetish, but he wasn't able to do so. He's going to try and support JW now as JW goes looking for it. He had the one shot, and he didn't take it. Zipnix might peek again, and he will call in Fetish the reinforcements. And AZ is going to try and catch them unawares as they chase down. The bomb will blow any second now. Will AZ be able to take out this AWP? Big opportunity, big moments here. One AWP aside could get lost, and Crims helps out JW, and it looks like Fnatic will get away. Both sides escape with an AWP.
And I'd love to find out the impact play of what Fetish is doing. So in the round prior to that, he won the 1v1 with JW along. JW then went mid, and we had the other AWP in the hands of Olof, I believe, on the site. Fetish still took down Olof regardless. And it's just
2 frags that round as well.
Big play coming out from this man, just mentally maybe forcing Fnatic to play a little bit of a different style, but I'd like to find out from the players after this match how that's affected them in this. But still, nothing going on too much yet. We are seeing actually a little bit of aggression from Pronax, pushing straight up. He's got Device in front of him, gets the first, looks for the second. Zipnix standing in his way, he's taken down Olof, so bit of a 2-for-1 exchange, but Pronax is not done just yet. He carries on, gets Dupree down, gets AZ down. Wow, the confidence alongside this man is unbelievable. As Zipnix, what can you do? You're not even really a minute into this round, and your teammates have been slaughtered. As already Crims, we know this man likes to hunt down anyone remaining. I think he got 2 last round in the afterplant. Zipnix, open hand, trying to stay alive, but there's a lot of time to work away, and Crims will put him to bed. And what a phenomenal round from Pronax.
Awesome stuff from Pronax and from Fnatic. Whoever made that call to just rush up and mix it up. They were not expecting that. The moment they waited for the AWP shot to miss, the moment that those scopes were down, they were up and at them, and that was fantastic. And Pronax actually did it all himself, because if you consider, he did a lot of team damage to the one guy that charged up with the Famous with him and eventually died. Look at the situation that's forced as well. 3 CZs for for Dignitas, who lose AZ, and Fnatic know that with CZs in hand, they need to not engage this one short, and they'll fall back into CT spawn and take them at range, where their weapons are far, far superior. So, Fnatic looking great this morning, and there will be... Whoa, JW! What a hit onto Fetish! Device, the last man standing down, and, well, I've seen 3 people try that jump this weekend, and 2 have done it quite sensationally.
Wow, they thought LDLC had a little bit of the limelight. They're like, well, we fancy a bit of our own, why not? And 7-3 being that scoreline now. Fnatic are building, they're looking confident. Dig, though, back on a bit of a gun round. Fetish going to be sticking, I think, with just that Deagle. Maybe going to try and build up towards the AWP in a little bit of time. But some unbelievable shots have been landed in the last couple of days, and that is one of them. Call it skillful or whatever you want, it does look good, but still. This time around, 11th round, we see a little bit of Dignitas building once again, taking their time. Clinical players, clinical team, struggling to find that final push. Fnatic certainly been meeting them on every single front here. As Device Dupree look towards mid, couple of smokes, couple of flashes. Fnatic doing the same, holding them back, trying to offset the timing that Dig may want to bring. And once again, we'll be seeing Xyp9x toying with Long, but I don't think he's actually hanging around this time. And is it going to be that mid-execute? I think it is. Dig are cutting off the complete A players, leaving the last 2 for Fnatic tucked in on this side. Flusher has got 1. Crimson must deal with who's into... Oh, I hope he notices. I don't want to give away anything in this situation, but I think we need to watch this man right here, right now. 4 players for Fnatic looking for the retake. Crims. Dangerous positioning. JW will find Device. 3 now left on towards the site. Here we go. Xyp9x takes down JW, and regardless of the brilliant play then, it doesn't matter, as it looks like Dignitas are holding on. AZ not going to be able to manage it, but Fetish will. Locks them down, locks them out, and the B play in the end through mid worked again.
So Crims got caught in 2 minds there. He was, placed fortunately courtesy of the smoke, and the problem was that he wasn't quick enough there to be a surprise player. He decided to wait for the rest of his team coming through, and you could see when they flashed it, they just threw kind of the expected flash in there to make sure that no one could come through the tunnels. He either had to make that decision quickly and go big, and essentially it was go hard or go home, and he went home. 7-4 Fnatic. This has been a great way to start the day. Xyp9x will push in, gets himself fragged by Olofmeister's FAMAS, and you see Fetish uncommitted at the moment. He is the one who will pick up the bomb, and JW with the AWP about 2 seconds too late to catch the glistening light off the back of Fetish's head. That flash that'll just... Oh, JW gets a hit onto Fetish in the end. That smoke just falls slightly short, gives Device a little opportunity. Look, Dupree down. JW just picking up frags left, right, and center, and you can see that small yellow dot that is so crucial to this one. Device now will come through as he makes his way through A. Has no idea. JW still rattling off frags, and Fnatic will get semi-fortunate to get the frag onto Device. Device thought he would pick that one up, didn't, and now it's all on AZ. JW will complete, I think, a hat-trick of frags and did not lose a single man that round. The bank of Fnatic will be looking good, and the confidence themselves equally so.
Not sure what else to say. I think you summed it up perfectly. Confidence must be sky high with Fnatic going to round 13. Dig, I wouldn't say struggling, they've just not really had that final bit of execution. They've had brilliant rounds and then just got locked out money-wise, and you can see that the CZs are back in play. AZ and Dupree deciding to go with them. This time, maybe going to take a little longer. Normally they head down towards long A. This time they look a little like they want to switch something up, but JW meets them at the doorstep, takes down Device. So the aggression, the confidence, we know what the CZs can do, as obviously do Fnatic. So we know Crims does like to occasionally run with it, and Crims, the man himself, on B, locking it down again. AZ left in a 1v4. I think he knows what's going to come, and there we go. Fnatic, clean round again, only lost Flusher there. And all in all, it's just Fnatic looking good this morning. They're
looking great on their CT side, but lest we forget what Dignitas can do. So looking at the, let's bring up the scoreboard and see what the teams are looking like. So Flusher had a great morning, but look at the spread on those top 4 players. Only 3 frags separate the top 4 players for Fnatic. They're all shining right now, and Smoke in mid. Dignitas moving quickly here. Olafmeister has got incoming behind him. JW pushed out on catwalk and just didn't get someone. But it'll be Fetish coming through. Fnatic know exactly what's coming their way with JW down there and having lost Pronax there. But can they do anything with that? Because Dignitas are coming in with a vengeance towards this A site. It's Flusher, gets the first and the second, but Fetish will eventually shut him down. Fetish coming up now will toss over that bomb towards AZ, who'll go towards him, and we're in a 2 versus 2. AZ and Fetish will make the push in now. Fetish has 3 frags this round, and JW has had some big hits to make, but the rotation is alive and well in the shape of Fetish, and Fetish will have said to AZ, just stay alive, unless someone challenges you, like Crims, for example, and I will come and help you. JW is going to find himself between a rock and a hard place, tries that hit that he did just moments ago, and it will fail. There's Fetish taking down the wounded soldier that was JW. Great play from Fetish. Got 4 frags that round, but AZ also just bought time, didn't commit to the bomb plant, bought time for Fetish to get into that play.
And I can't help but to almost remember back to the Cloud9 NIP moment, Forest buying the time there on the side to allow Get Ready to come around in that final so important round, and just the team play alone, the trust that Fetish was going to make it around in time to support AZ there came perfectly into place. But once again, the danger strikes, and the fact that Pronax is feeling aggressive, he's feeling like he wants to do what he did before. Last time I think he picked up near on 3 kills from this, and he looks like he wants to cause hurt again. Device is low, but AZ through the lower B tunnels, cutting Fnatic in half almost, but it's a very aggressive final round between these two, and at the moment slightly in favor to Dignitas with 4v3. Pronax is in such an unorthodox place. Can they predict it? Do they still know he's around here? Can they negate it completely? Let's go towards B. 1 minute left to make these choices. Fetish still with them, still leading the way. As Pronax back a little, that smoke maybe calming them down, saying, okay, let's start playing a little bit more standard here, see where they're at. They've lost vision of Fnatic, Dignitas. They want to regain that. JW still holding on. I'd love to see this little 1v1 go down again. These two have been going back and forth consistently. And 40 seconds on the board. It's going to be some commitment. Maybe Zipnik's going for a little bit of a cheeky little play towards A, but the hit, I think, might be coming down towards... Oh my god. Zipnik's play they forced him away. This is perfect stuff. Zipnik's is a flashing beacon of bait completely and utterly, and it's drawn everyone of Fnatic over towards A. He can die here and be fine with it, because right now in B, that is the execution from Dignitas that is sensational play. Fetish knew exactly how Fnatic would respond to that sort of stuff. Just stack out the side, go and challenge. And they just got B for free. Bomb down. Can they now secure the round? JW waits. Device tucked in. Flusher looking for a way through. Clock's ticking. Fnatic knows that. They can hear this ticking away faster and faster. Flashes now come in. The push has begun. Fnatic are in on the site. It's just Fetish now. 1v1. Oh, Fetish with the hat-trick. Stunning, stunning play. After a perfectly played out round, he finishes with that.
Fetish just wins 2 rounds in a row for Dignitas. The one before he got 4. That one he got 3. Awesome play from that. Fnatic will be kicking themselves because it was 9-4, and it finished 9-6, and both were winnable rounds for them. They were almost played that perfectly. Zipnik's, as you mentioned, was the bait, but the smoke that JW laid down on B forced, I don't think Dignitas were 100% confident that they had a free site to come in.
No, they took their time.
Coming in blind. But in the end, the clock was against them. They had some 20 seconds to go in when that smoke was laid down, so they're just like, well, we have no choice. We can't go anywhere else from here. And they charged in, and 9-6 is a very different scoreline to the way that half could have ended. Fnatic will be over the moon. They had a very positive start, but this will be a feeling of lost opportunities for them.
And I have to ask the question, I think in most interviews, most articles, anything you read about Dignitas, they enjoy the CT side. They're a team that it complements extraordinarily well.
Well, they do until Fetish said what he said on stage to Paul yesterday.
It's fair enough, but results alone back the fact that they've always played quite nicely on it. The defensive style, the smart style, it plays into their hands, And the one thing I think Heaton brought up a long time ago, the one issue with when you start on the CT side is you're always waiting, you're always the one responding rather than one making it happen. You're always going to be a little colder. But now they've had the T side to kind of build themselves up, get warmed up. You saw the play coming out from the boys on your screen right there. They can play that CT side very comfortably now, I think. But we'll have to wait and see.
Fetish rocking all the party tricks to open the bottle of water with the lighter.
Oh, I've learned so many tricks in Germany. Like, I swear to God, Germans have every single trick under the kind of sun to do this. But it's nice to see Fetish being able to pick it up as well.
Cameraman just peeking over the wall into the Fnatic thing. It's all right, Mr. Cameraman. You can look, but you can't touch. And the Dignitas side are, well, full of confidence. This,
Kappa.
remember, though, is Dignitas' map, as Mr. Kappa joins us this morning. And it will be, if you are just joining us, it will be overpass for map 2. So still a twist in the tail for this one. All to play for here. Fnatic 9, Dignitas 6. Pronex just sat in the middle looking for whatever information the world has to offer. It'll be a 3-man Fnatic push. Device is going to be the one who can see action first and foremost as he makes his way across. Oh, one hit! Say goodnight, Pronex. And he will retreat back with that in his pocket. Goes in for the second one, Olofmeister down. And what can you do when Device is hitting those shots? Crims does eventually down him, but Device can sit quite comfortably now for the next 1 minute and 10 seconds. As Dupree loses a fair chunk of health. With the CZ, interestingly, as Fnatic will regroup. They're a man down, and it's going to take an individual moment of brilliance to open up this Dignitas defense on this A side as Zipnix comes through. Flusher is the diversion down on A. So he tries to open up a second hole, but Crims will pick up the first. JW has been lost. Zipnix comes in with one more, and now it is Flusher or bust for Fnatic as he goes 1 on 3. All of them low health. This isn't impossible, but it isn't going to be easy either. Fetish down, first man out. Look at the clock though, that has a part to play here, and the lack of the bomb has an even bigger part to play. Flusher's going to have to go for this one. Does have a nade to help him out. He's going to look for Zipnix down at the bottom of the stairs, and the two of them come together to give him the wall of fire. And it will be Fnatic who, oh sorry, Dignitas who win the opening pistol round of the second half.
Fnatic back into the trend of not liking to pick up pistol rounds, it seems. But anyway, 9-7. If it goes the way it can, which we often see, it should be pretty much even. But then again, there's always a threat of the CZs. The T side always has the chance to come back. It always allows for that. And that's maybe what Fnatic can go back on if it does get a little close here. But let's see what they have in store this round. The man I probably wouldn't want to meet at the moment is waiting in pit, and he says hello to one, finds Olof, gets a good tag. Zipnix now comes in with the double, and this is Dig just being clinical. JW does find one, but at the end of the day, it's the least amount of impact we're seeing right now. Flusher getting a little Device. Everyone's so cautious, everyone's so careful, don't want to lose anything, and Zipnix picking up 4 in the end there. But all in all, only losing out on Fetish. No bomb plant for the T side. Dig will be happy with that.
Great play from Dig to convert their pistol into 1. Can they convert it into 2 on what will be a Fnatic CZ round? And we'll see. For this Dignitas side, you know, lots been made of their CT superiority, or just generally across maps, but also a lot's been made that when the semi-finals come around, they wobble. And this may be the biggest tournament of them all to not wobble in. So they charge in towards Device, and that smoke's actually going to help him perfectly. I think it was thrown by Fnatic, but it's going to help him. He just moves in, none of the CZs can focus on him, and as they quickly charge up towards the B site, the objective there is get that bomb down, as they will go in. They're outgunned and soon to be outmanned, but that doesn't matter. I'm completely wrong. They're not going to be outmanned here. They're 2 men to the good, and they've been able to pick up the Famises. This Fnatic side are staring down a victory here as they will push in, and it'll be Zipnix who eventually has to concede. The smoke does its job. He's got no information. Fetish says, you know what? We cannot win that. And Fnatic not only will get away with a bomb plant, they'll get away with 2 Famises and M4, and it worked by hook or by crook.
Whichever way it works out, however it comes to play, those CZs are changing this game so damn much. You know, let's be serious here, the P250 is not exactly weak itself, but those CZs do allow for that sort of style, and the smoke was brilliantly placed in the end, as you mentioned. But it just allowed Fnatic straight up in towards B, and we see this execute time and time again, but when you lock it down to this, if you take it into real kind of aspect of what the map is, if you lock out A completely with the CZs and you just focus on to B, it's fairly close range, and those CZs can do real damage, and Fnatic just knew that, and they ran with it. And right now, we will be seeing Fnatic at 10-8, turning the tides a little earlier on, and now into the 19th round. Dig will be a little bitter after that one, but I'm sure they'll be able to manage. So far, Fnatic just taking their time. No need to rush, haphazardly. They've got some brilliant talent on the side who can open these sites up. JW being one. Olaf, when he's on point, is stunning in his play, but at the moment, just being cautious, and you can't blame them. Dig have been very good at this so far, testing the patience. Now 57 seconds left. Fnatic, see if they can draw anyone out for a little bit of a challenge, but interesting enough, no one really playing in mid here for Dig either. They're happy to leave that up in the air and then focus on holding the sides and then maybe rotate if necessary, but at the moment Fnatic are starting to make that play towards mid. 30 seconds left. Fnatic need to make this move now if they want to get this one going, and here we go. Anything that stands in the way could really offset this timing, but Pronax finding Dupree will be brilliant, but Xyp9x is there this time. Smoke doesn't hold him back as much, but still, this B play has come out time and time again. AZ falls, and Fnatic have got it down to a T here, leaving Fetish and Device to try and undo the pretty much a dire situation they're in, but Fetish so low, I don't think he can really challenge much, and I think Device knows that as well, so they're going to back the hell away. And Fnatic have worked out a way to get Dignitas worried on the CT side now.
Well, they just pushed through. I mean, that time, that round was pretty slow because neither side had a great amount of intel on the other side. They couldn't find one another. And then this push through double doors with the smoke into CT has worked 2 rounds in a row for Fnatic. And the man that's in there has just been completely isolated. And the last round, I thought the smoke would actually benefit the CT player because it would nullify the short-range CTs. This CZs. This time, it just was perfect for Fnatic. It allowed them to waltz on and up into the B site, and they now have a 3-round advantage on Dignitas' map, and will be feeling pretty good. Look at the bank of Crims and the bank of Pronax. Both are overflowing with cash. And on the other side, it is far from the case. Nades to help, but CZs and the picked up weapons from the last round, not good. And also, we'll see whether it comes into play. Only the one kit. Device will push in. The way Fnatic have gone, those nades would absolutely come in handy from Fetish here, because pushing into long A is just going to line up for that. And they obviously don't know what we know, but now we spy Dupree and Olafmeister. Of course, such is the way of CS these days, that just as Fnatic begin to build momentum, it would be to the enjoyment of the casters for Dignitas to disrupt it and throw a spanner into the works. Nades come in towards the A side. It will be Pronax flying down onto Fetish. Awesome play from that, and taking the only kid out of the game. Fnatic get themselves the next one onto Dupree, and now it will be Xyp9x having to come and avenge. Collects himself Fetish's weapon though, and Olafmeister comes in and assassinates AZ from the back. We're on a 2-on-4 with a bomb down and 2 players with weapons. They'll hold this one out. Fnatic will march on to 12 here, Lauren, and this is looking good from the Swedes.
They're just locking out Dignitas every time. Smokes, flashes, nades, keeping him at arm's length throughout the entirety of the game, whether it be through CT or not. They just constantly zone out plays, and their B execution has been on point. At the moment, Xyp9x is the only one standing. I'm not sure if he's even going to get away with that AK, but...
You know, tournaments can be won or lost by just having good days. Fnatic have had okay days in this tournament. They've not been good, they've not been bad, but they might just about to be able to have a great day.
It's on the verge of being so. 12-8, first map in this one. Fnatic's slightly more aggressive style, maybe, depending on individual performances. It's not going too badly, to say the least, at the moment. Dignitas back with weapons, however. Maybe they can work this one out. Maybe they need to adapt a little. Maybe just mull it over and try and work out what's really working for Fnatic. And at the moment, Fnatic have liked running down that clock. I don't think I've seen a full A execute from Fnatic yet with weapons, so interested to see if they actually build towards it. Generally that mid to B play has been their favourable strat, but we're yet to see what they can bring towards this A site, but I think we're going to find out very, very soon. Xyp9x shoulder peeks away from short. I don't want to stay around too long, but he has got enough of a glimpse. He's got the information. Fnatic might want to reconsider their options. Nice little smoke will just shut them off for a little bit longer. Buy a little bit of time for the rest to start considering rotating from B towards A, but Fnatic still able to rotate if they fancy it. Device getting taken so low as well. Let's see if AZ and dupreeh can lock down this mid push. It's been something that's been a consistent pain towards Dignitas, but Flusher pulls it off again. AZ goes down, and just Fnatic, one by one, working this out. Dig knew where they were this time. There was not a lack of information. They had it down to a T, but regardless, Fnatic are now starting to push towards A. Device does stop JW, but Device being so low, he's going to have to be careful as Crims comes through on towards Long. Flusher through CT, leaving just dupreeh alive, locked out at B, and it's another brilliant execute from Fnatic, but this time on the A site.
Yeah, that one really worked, and it was interesting to see them go A because it offers us the kind of ability to compare that against Dignitas' CT side against Epsilon yesterday. Yesterday, Device was just the king of the catwalk. Epsilon played a number of kind of repeat strats where they would just try to push up catwalk, and Device would push out to the top of the smoke, to the top of the lip there, and just find himself a frag. And that happened 2 or 3 times. And then once every so often, he would push all the way down catwalk. Most of the time, it was passive. Device hasn't been able to do that. The game has not played in towards his hands. You saw Xyp9x push out, try to replicate that round, but he had to fall back. Also, that stack that Fnatic ran, where they put JW up, helped immensely. Gave them the kind of confidence that no one's pushing down B tunnels, because he could just look over there and put them above that they could shoot over towards where Device and Xyp9x were. So, just all around, Fnatic had an answer to Dignitas there, and gotta say, this is probably a result of just watching yesterday's game against Epsilon and saying, if we're going to play on Dust, we know how they're going to do it. And it's been very good. What's interesting, though, is, well, I was about to sing Fetish's praises. I was literally about to say, Long A has been very difficult for Fnatic to execute against because Fetish is just in beast mode this morning. But
he only had the CZ.
He only had the CZ.
There was 5 of them. Like, he's been good, but we're putting a lot of... But you have been absolutely spot on, and even if you turn it around the other way, when he was attacking this, how many times did he take down JW? I think he forced JW to maybe readjust where he was, but Device in a good spot. CZ's this time being overpowered by Fnatic's very own. And
now, what's interesting was when Fnatic lost 1 or 2 rounds in a row last game, they would push, was it Flusher or Pronex up through mid, and they just changed it up on their CT side. Dignitas don't have that plan B. Dignitas don't seem to be able to change it up when they need to just put the cat amongst the pigeons. And that's why they're staring down on what's about to be 14-8, leaving them just 2 rounds of a cushion left to salvage their map. It's over past next, ladies and gents. Remember that.
It's worrying times for Dignitas. Going to be something in the pangs of don't tell me this is G3 all over again. These kind of semi-final moments where they start to have those couple of issues sneaking in, the thoughts of don't tell me we're going to choke now. I'm hoping they don't, because let's be serious, some of their rounds have been magical, beautifully played out, but they've gone to the arguably better side if you look back at their results, and it's not really showing through just yet, but things can change. We've seen it happen before. We've seen games turn on a dime, but at the moment, Fnatic look very strong, very clinical, very focused. And, well, Flusher has just not been missing so far. He is on a obscene scoreline, even on this half, 7-4, 16-6 on the prior, but his kills have been coming in very big for Fnatic right now. As you can see, 23-10 overall for that man there. Head and shoulders above everyone else, but at the moment, we'll have to see if he can find anything this time. 1 minute still left into the round. A lot of time to work with. Olaf starting to look. We know Fnatic like this mid to B. The smoke is there. Xyp9x is good. The peak. He does look through, see if the push had begun. Didn't catch anything. Finds maybe a slightly more passive hold here. Olaf still looking. Are they trying to draw these guys back? Where are they trying to push them to? Fnatic still in mid. Flusher still at B. They haven't really adjusted beyond this. But we know they can do the fake plays. We know they like doing that. Xyp9x pulled it off perfectly prior, and Looks like a bit of a push on all fronts now. Flusher going peeking at B, and that's going to draw the attention across, but the push is happening now towards A. It's going to be Dupree to stop the B split, but Device will have to deal with players that are coming their way on towards the A side. Not going to get the first, as Olof will find Xyp9x. He's going to back out and look for another angle. Not going to get it on the second time of asking, but oh my word, Device, you're going to want to start hitting these, buddy, because that bomb is now down and ticking. Fetish moving in for this, and I worry because you've got the likes of JW still up and Olof, but right now Dignitas retaking this site one by one as JW now on the side gets taken down, and finally Dig break Fnatic streak.
Yeah, so Dignitas, a lot of good stuff happening there. They made the call at the right time to say, right, we're not going to hold this site, let's fall back. And that's when you saw the AWP coming in from Device. And then just Fetish again. The man, I mean, his stats put him at 17 kills, which doesn't quite justify how hard those 17 kills are done. But if you look at those kills in relation to the rest of his team, thank you very much, that shows just how strong that he has been. He wants to win. Might sound stupid, but he is playing like a man possessed this morning. He woke up, he was, I want this tournament, I want that $100,000. JW says, so do I, as he pokes through the long A gates and just dispatches of Xyp9x. Fetish was there. Fetish would have been the prize, the real scalp that you want in a morning like this. But he'll go through, and Fetish is a master and commander, but he is also very dominating. He will be fuming that the rest of his teammates aren't up to his level this morning. We'll see whether he's got something to offer as Dupree skates around the gates. The Fnatic players concealed by the smoke. JW with the AWP, looking to see if anyone will just show themselves, and Dupree stopped just short of giving a limb for JW to attack. So he retreats from the box. 2 players in B. And interestingly, the diversion up towards B in the last round offered nothing for Fnatic, because the player was instantly dead. Yes, he got a trade, but he was instantly nullified, so it wasn't much of a bait in any way, shape or form that caused that Dignitas defense to think twice. Fnatic down to 28 seconds now as they begin to execute. Pronex pushes in, gets dropped by Dupree, and Fnatic may have waited just a touch too long on this one. Dupree now goes in, AZ gets himself the kill. Flusher is going to have to go big, and didn't. And it was, well, just a little bit here, there, and nothing anywhere else for Fnatic in that B assault, but they've still got JW, and he's got Dupree, and Vice on low health if he can finish the job, but he can't. And Dignitas pull back another round, just about. Look at Fetish. Still time for a joke on the high five. I'm going to go bottom with my high five. You go top. Don't do it on the side. Don't confuse me.
But I've got to ask the question. Did you see a mid smoke going out from Fnatic then to block off CT? Because I didn't. When they started
there was one early.
Okay, there we go. I was kind of a little curious as to why that wasn't in place when they did start to begin their push. Usually they do start very early, but JW and Device exchanging the tags. They're taking each other quite low, 29 to 35, and in the moment Fnatic starting to get a little close on the scoreboard. Dignitas building up, catching up, knocking it down. 1 minute and 14. We know Dig like to play the sites. They're not going to go out for these crazy challenges, but we are seeing a little more aggression towards mid, but Device will be waiting. Oh, he catches Pronex as he tries to get down towards CT, and the execution for the T side might be lacking a small piece in the puzzle, as Xyp9x will be waiting, finds Olof, comes around, spots JW. Oh, he just about gets away, as now JW and Flusher might need to kind of reconsider their options here, but that play from Device stopping half of the kind of plan coming into effect.
Stopping all of it, because the smoke was in into CT spawn. The idea was that he would jump down, he would take out, I think it was Xyp9x that was there, and that would be that. He would then rush on up to B, everyone would live happily ever after a bomb blew up. But not in the slightest. It was a single play that ended the round and then made everything that much easier. Fnatic have been able to evade for some 25 seconds. I'll be very impressed if they get away with both these weapons. Flusher the most at risk from Fetish, who will push out in 15 seconds. Fnatic are guilty of playing into Dignitas' hands somewhat by using the clock as much as they have done. They could do with one round just to mix something up. But we'll see. That they did try to revert to form on this one and just hold out B. Interestingly, there you saw Dignitas didn't actually want to chase out those guns, because Dignitas don't have that much money themselves, so they didn't want to risk losing one gun of their own.
You've got to start asking the question, is there going to be those rounds to play with to be able to switch something up for Fnatic very soon? That scoreline's getting quite close, and you'd hope maybe at the start they're going, oh, let's just try something out here, let's do something a little different. But at 14-11, you're going to have to start wondering, we need to lock this one down. We need to start playing the very best and not risk anything.
Very much so. JW. Oh, if only you'd known how close he was. Interesting, they bought the Galil for Olaf on this round, and a handful of nades which have now been used as they dwindle away. Fnatic are going to lead with... Dignitas will lead with Xyp9x trying to take out the stack. Not sure whether he was aware it was coming, but the follow-up Molotov will definitely dispatch of them. And it is Krems who waits. Krems comes around the corner, and Xyp9x takes off his head. And now Device with the AWP. Oh, JW gets the better of him. And Device, you just thought that one was playing right into his scope, but no, JW bests him. And now it will be 4 versus 4 at 14-11 with 50 seconds to go in this round. Fnatic raced into a great position, but they've struggled to get to the finishing line as Dignitas have put up their guard. And it will be, again, that push, but Dignitas have gotten better at holding on to CT now.
And no smokes, I don't believe, with Fnatic.
Nothing to hold back dupreeh, who will have a clean shot. The question is, will he be facing it? It's JW and Olafmeister who combine to down dupreeh, and here we go. They're going to push in with AZ the man to next stop them, but JW bests him as well. Awesome play from him. Xyp9x now with Fetish will go 2-on-4, bomb planted at B, and let's see what Dignitas have here. This would have to be something very special from Xyp9x as he loses Fetish, and Xyp9x knows that will not be possible, or will it? Dignitas gets the frag onto Pronex. He's going to come charging in looking for more. He just wants kills at this point, and Flusher will prevent that. And it is going to be for 15-11 Fnatic. And Dignitas know they can't. I mean, Xyp9x had to go for it in hindsight, because otherwise it would be match point. So it was all in. He couldn't hold out. But 15-11 the score, and look what's left.
Interesting weapon choices, to say the least. A Deagle, an auto sign, but that is the most mixed kind of bag I've seen in a while. But regardless, Fnatic start off well with Olaf finding Xyp9x, getting the better spawn there, and just going to run with that AWP still. Sticking with that. He's now the 4 of Dig.
Fetish was always going to tag someone who might die, follow him into a risky position so he could get that gun instantly.
Yep, now Dig having to respond. Device struggling to land these shots, it seems, towards the A side. We saw him before, but they did retake. The bomb is yet to go down. Are they rotating off? They're rotating off of this. Olaf's found 2! Big play there. 3 kills this round. Bomb is down on A. They secured mid. They know where these 2 are. Fetish is going to fall, and Device finally landing the shot. He's got 4 more in his way, and I think he knows this is a near-on impossible situation. With Olaf round the backside, 4 to get Dust2 under the belts of Fnatic.
Great play from Fnatic. They pick up Dignitas's map, and they do it in some style as well. Big questions to be asked on that Dignitas side. We move to Overpass for the second map, which